Hello and welcome to Eat, Theatre, Sleep, Repeat. This week, my special guest is Susie Blake playing Shirley at Murder at Midnight, which is here at the Blackpool Grand Theatre from Wednesday the 28th of January through to the 31st of January. Susie, welcome to the show. How are you first and foremost?
Well, I'm very, very well, and I'm happy to say that I've paid my tax bill. I remembered I suddenly saw the date this morning and realised I had to pay my tax bill before the end of the month, so I've done it.
Excellent. Well, always needed. So, Susie, just talk to us, because you've played a wide variety of characters during your career. For you, what has been the most special thing about playing Shirley in Murder at Midnight?
She's not easy because she's the mother of a drugs baron and she may or may not have dementia. And people of my age have all known people with dementia. And my mum, right at the end, when in her 90s, probably just for 6 weeks before she died, she certainly had Alzheimer's dementia. And so I try and think of her, but of course I'm 20 years younger than she was. So it's a different kind of a thing. And also, I don't think Shirley is 100% honest.
So you've done plenty of different types of things and different types of shows and different types. You've done TV, you've done movies. What is it that keeps you drawn back to coming to do theatre?
Oh, got it. Well, I don't think you can be an actor, a show-off, an extrovert. Well, actually, all of those things are not necessary, but the theatre, you get to tell the story from beginning to end. You're in that character for a complete storytime length, 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 15, which ours is, including the interval. And at the end, you say thank you to the audience and they say thank you to you. You don't get any of that on telly. I've only done tiny snippets in films. I haven't really done films. And that's a lot of waiting about, I remember. But in television, you're shooting out of sequence. You're not shooting in sequence. And nobody says thank you at the end of it.
We spoke to Jason and Katie a couple of months ago on the podcast, and they were sort of saying the great thing about this show is that it's quite snappy. It goes through the story at a good pace, and that you're out within 2 hours. How do you think that is quite important nowadays?
The time thing. Well, I don't know. We were in a theatre in Manchester last week alongside the How to Kill a Mockingbird. And that goes on for, I think, 3 hours. And the theatre was full every night, as was ours, by the way. So I think if a show gets a reputation for being worth watching, people will go. I mean, there's not Wicked. What's the thing with them? Harry Potter show in London. I think that's 2 shows. So it's a day in the theatre, isn't it? I think people are very willing to go and see something if they've heard good reports.
Excellent. So talk to me just on the show as well, because again, Jason and Katie briefly touched on this. There's a lot of accents in this show. How do you find it, keeping up the accents?
Right, well, I've worked for Original. Now, this is my 3rd show with them. And the first show, I was playing Miss Marple. So you can imagine how she spoke. Then I was playing a North Yorkshire farmer. And now I'm playing a Cockney, mother of a drugs baron.
I know something you don't know. I had a best friend, several of them, but I never once took a tumble with any of their fellas.
And I think, I'm not allowed to say this, but this is the second in a trilogy. So there'll be another one along in a minute. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to sound for that one. But yes, most people in this show are Cockney. It's that kind of East End gang sort of clique.
Yeah. And is it easy to slip into, or is it?
I love it. I mean, I love it. And if it's difficult, I found Birmingham very hard when I did Cuckoo. I had lessons for that. In 1 week, I had lessons for the Queen, for Birmingham, and I was also in Corrie for 6 weeks at the same time. So I was doing Manchester, the Queen, our Queen Elizabeth, I hasten to add, and also, Birmingham Queen and Mancunian. So I do love it. I think once you get into you'll usually have a sentence or something. We all do, don't we? We have a sentence that reminds you of the place and the people and the accent. I remember Northern Ireland, that when they were selling bacon, Ulster bacon, and you use that to get into that voice. But I would need lessons for that again now.
It's incredible. Susie, murder and murder mystery and Blackpool are no stranger for you, because you were in Murderer on the Blackpool Express a good few years ago now. What do you think your current character, Shirley, would make of a trip to Blackpool?
Oh, she'd love it. She'd upset everybody. She's not an easy character, but at the moment, because she's slightly not with it, you could probably shove her in the back. She doesn't drink. Otherwise, you could give her a drink to shut her up, or you could give her a hot water bottle probably, and then tuck her up in the back of the coach, and she'd be all right. That was huge fun. It was sad for me because I was the first to die, so of course I wasn't in all of it, but I did have, I think, some of the best lines.
So this is undoubtedly a funny production. How hard has it been to stay in character, especially working with the people you've worked with in this, Jason Durr, Max Bowden and Katie McGlynn?
Well, they're not terribly funny, darling. I'm the funny one. No, I'm joking. I think it's my job. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I've worked with some really great comedians in my career, and I've usually been the straight man with funny lines, but the straight man nevertheless. I've never really been the clown. And for instance, in Mrs. Brown's Boys, people say, how do you keep a straight face? Well, I have absolutely done that, because it won't be funny if I find it funny. The audience, everything is against the character that I play. And if she found it funny, well, you've lost the audience immediately. It's terribly important to play the truth of the situation. That sounds so boring, but it sort of is true.
Yeah.
If you show people, oh, this is a funny bit, it ain't funny anymore. The things that are funny are because they are slightly unnerving, or rude, or there's a tension there. Conflict and contrast was what they used to say at drama school.
I love that. Finally, do you have any superstitions or rituals before you go onto stage?
No, I have found myself actually recently doing something that an actress I worked with a long time ago used to do in the wings. To get my heartbeat up, I run very fast in the wings before I go on, to sort of get the heartbeat going, because I'm 75 now, and it's quite easy to sort of slow down and do a languid performance. And it is a quick show. You have to have your wits about you. They do save me if ever I go off the rails, but it hasn't happened too often, I don't think. But I don't have any, I'm not superstitious at all. No.
It's good to know. We always like to ask that question to sort of find out what different actresses do, and what they, what is sort of inside them and their mind and their mind frame before they go onto stage. So it was very interesting to hear that, Susie.
Well, I do think about what she will be thinking as she goes on. Literally before you go on, you say goodbye to Susie, leave her in the wings, and you think, hopefully, unless you're very nervous on the first night, you think about what's going on in the mind of the character. Mm-hmm. And then that helps you move with a determination that she would have, as opposed to me.
I get what you mean.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I do see. I could talk to you forever, Susie, but unfortunately, we've got to let you go and let you get off to stage. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. We really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
And of course, tickets are still available to come and see Murder at Midnight here at the Blackpool Grand Theatre, running from Wednesday the 28th of January through to Saturday the 31st. And you can get tickets on our website, blackpoolgrandtheatre.co.uk, or call the box office 01253 290 190. Thank you, Susie.
You're amazing.
That's a wrap on Eat, Theatre, Sleep, Repeat. Thanks for joining us at Blackpool Grand Theatre. And don't forget to like, most definitely follow, and join us again. Until next time, stay fabulous.